Hey guys, I've got a quick 20-minute glute workout for us. So if you have a band, a loop band or any color TheraBand, that'll do fine. If you don't have anything, then you can do it without. And you should still feel it if you're doing it properly. So up to you if you want to use the extra props. So we're going to start off with the band around the tops of our thighs. Lying on your back. Feet are hip width apart, and when you reach forwards with your fingertips, see that you can just touch your heels. That's kind of how you know that you're in a good position for what we're going to be doing. So hands can start down by your side. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just flatten through the lower back using your deep tummy muscles to do that. Breathing in to lengthen. Breathing out, flattening, pulling your pubic bone up. Breathing in, lengthen. Two more. Pulling in and lengthening. So we're not squeezing our glutes to do this, you're pulling from your core. Last one. Back to neutral. We're going to push out into the band ever so gently if you've got one. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pelvic floor, deep tummy, hover. Keeping the hover of your bum just off the floor, you're going to open your knees and close. Open and close. Open and close. Head, neck and shoulders is relaxed. Eyeline is up to the ceiling. If you need a little cushion to align your spine, that's fine too. Let's go for 5, 4. Try and see that both legs are pushing evenly and that you're not getting one leg working before the other one. 2 more. Last one and lower. You're going to lift all the way up, finding your neutral position in your bridge so your hip bones and your rib cage are connected. Same thing here, out and in. Keeping your feet down, so you're not rolling from the ankles, you're working from the outsides of your glutes. For 8, keeping ribs and hips connected. 7, 6, feeling it in your glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it back to neutral. Lower the hips and lift. Lower and lift. If you put your fingertips on your hip bones and your thumbs under your bottom of your ribs, then you can feel that that distance shouldn't change. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And relax. Good. Let your knees just relax. Give them a bit of a shake. Hands are going to come up in the air for a challenge. If you want to start with your hands down, that's fine too. Breathing in. We're going into our roll up into our bridge. So that was the hinge. Now we're working one vertebra at a time. Breathing in to prepare. Expand through the back and sides of your ribs. As you breathe out, that pelvic tuck that we did just before. And then scooping one vertebra off the mat at a time. Making sure when you're at your top position, you're not overextending. Breathing in, reach your knees over your toes, sternum, back of your ribs, lower back, tailbone. Breathing in, breathe out, scoop, roll, reach your knees over your toes. We're going to breathe in to take your hands above your head. You're only going to go as far back as you can without letting the ribs flare. Chin down, sternum, mid-back, lower back, tailbone, hands come back up. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, lower. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. We've got 3 more. Breathing in, slow it down if you need to. Breathe out. Connect hips to ribs and lower. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Now keep your hands there this time. Really feel the stretch through the backs of your arms, underneath your armpit, and lower down. Just a little ab series here. Breathing in to take your hands behind your head, lengthen through your spine. As you breathe out, connect lower belly, pelvic floor, hover your chest and head up off the mat. We're going to open and close, open and close. I want you to touch your knees together each time. So squeeze the knees, open the knees, squeeze the knees, open the knees. For 5, Keep your head and chest lifted, but eyeline is up to the ceiling. 3, squeeze the knees together. Last one, and relax. Breathing in, breathe out, connect. Float the left leg, right leg, breathing in. Left leg joins it. Breathing in again. We're going to keep our feet and knees together for this one. Tummy sinks down towards your spine, making sure you haven't tucked your tailbone underneath or gone into an arch. So nice neutral spine. Open and squeeze. Open and squeeze. For 8, your feet don't move in space. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Keep your legs up. We're going to go into internal rotation now. So that was external, breathing in. Breathe out. Ribs to hips, sternum to chest, sternum to hips. Breathing in. You're going to open your feet. I know this is weird. And you're actually looking at your feet now, so you can see if one leg moves more than the other. Ideally, you want them to move the same distance out of the midline. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees to your chest. Just give it a little roll around. Good. And we're going to flip straight onto our bellies. So keeping the band on your thighs. Head is resting down onto your hands. Your forehead is down. I'm just lifting up so I can talk. Your tummy is gently lifting away from the mat. So feel how when you lift your belly, that tailbone kind of lengthens between your heels. So keeping that gentle sense of lift from underneath your hip bones. Breathing in, you're going to turn the legs together. Breathe out, squeeze and lift. So the heels are squeezing together the whole time. Your legs stay straight, so we're not bending our knees. You're lifting from the front of your thighs. As you lift the thighs, keep thinking of the bottom rib cage drawing in towards your spine and your tummy lifting away from the floor. We've got 4. You should be feeling the outsides of your glutes. 2, 1, hold it there. Bend your knees in so your thighs are lifted off the mat and squeeze them straight. Knees go out and in. Bend your heels, your knees goes out. For 8, 7, 6, even without a band, you should be feeling this in the outside of your hips, as well as right in your glute max, the top part of your butt. 3, keep your thighs lifted, tummy on 2. Last one, stretch the legs and lower. Good, turn your legs to parallel now. So toes and knees are facing down. You want to make sure that your tummy is still lifting away from the mat. You're going to flex the right foot. You're going to push the right foot up to the ceiling and lower. Lift and lower. I want you to try and feel both hip bones pressing evenly into the mat. You're not rolling onto the right side and digging your right hip bone into the mat. We've got 6, 5, breathing out to lift. 3, 2, 1, lower and bend. Point to lower and bend. Your thigh is off the floor. Lower and flex. Point and flex. 3, 2, last one, and lower down. Good, other side. So bending your left knee, flex your foot up to the ceiling. Keep your tailbone reaching towards your toes. Breathe in, tummy on, breathe out, lift and lower, lift and lower. You want to try and make sure that your foot is straight up to the ceiling and that you haven't turned your knee out or turned your knee in with your foot out. So you want to be going straight up and down. Let's do 5. Keep your tummy on. 4. Really squeezing the back of your glute. 2, 1. Hold it. Lengthen and flex. Point and flex. If you're feeling this in your lower back, it means you're not activating your tummy muscles enough. So really think of tucking underneath that much more. 4, 3, keep your thigh lifted, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good job. Hands under your shoulders. Elbows are sticking up in the air. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to drag yourself forwards, just releasing through your back. And lower. Let's do 2 more. Breathing out. And lower. Last one. And lower. Push up through all fours and have a little stretch. Try and have your hands together, and that'll stretch a little bit more underneath your armpits. Good. All right, coming onto all fours now. We're just going to do a little bit more of hip mobility before we get onto our side. So hands are directly underneath your shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips. Make sure you're not collapsed and you're not arching through your back, spreading the mat nice and wide, and feel this muscle just drawing up and away from the band of your pants. From here, we're going to have our knees together. You're going to lift the left leg. You can go open and in, open and in, open. Now what we're looking for is that you're not side bending through that left side. So it's just the hip bone rolling around in your hip joint. 2 more. Last one, other side. Out and in, out and in. Eyeliner is down. Feel the spiraling of your thigh bone inside the hip joint. For 5. Squeeze the glute to do it. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Tuck your toes underneath. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to hover your knees off the mat. We're going to open the right leg, bring it in. Open the left leg. 1 more each way. And lower. We're going to keep adding on. We're going to go up to 5 each side. If you need to come down after each one, that's fine. You just do what works for you. If you need, you can come up onto your fists, but we really want to try and have energy through those arms, through the shoulders, underneath your palms of your hands so that you're not just loading through the wrists. Breathe in, hover. We put 3 on each side. 2, last one, come back to the middle each time, and lower. Breathing in, breathe out, pelvic floor, tummy. 4, squeeze the knees together in the middle. 3, breathe for 2, last one, and lower. Last one, breathing in, prepare. Breathe out, pelvic floor, deep tummy. We've got 5, 4, so we're working on pelvic stability, shoulder strength, lots of core strength, and of course our glutes. 2 more each way. Last one, and lower back down. Good. Have a little wrist stretch. Take a nice big breath. And we're going to come down onto your side. Moving the band down to your ankles. So what we're focusing on today a lot is hip mobility. If you don't have mobile hips and there's no range of movement for your legs to move through, then you can't build strength throughout range. So we are obviously strengthening up the glute muscles and all of them, all the deep layers as well, but we do need to make sure that you've got internal and external rotation of the hip joint. So we're going to start lying on your side with your legs straight out. Hand in front can be there for balance. Legs, hip bones are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Reach the legs as far away from your body as you can and gently activate the bottom rib cage to be off the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, lift and lower, lift and lower. We've got 8, 7, feeling like the belly's lifting in and away from the mat. 5, 4, again, if you don't have a band, that's fine. 2, hold it up. You're going to turn it in, tap it down, turn it forwards, up, heel comes forward, toes and knees go up, tap the ground, rotate, knee and toes face the front, lift, knee and toes face the ceiling, lower, face the front, lift, face the ceiling, lower, face the front, lift, ceiling, down, front. Keep lifting that waist off. Feel it working deep into the glutes. 1 more, you're going to hold it up, turn it out, turn it in. So toes are down, knees down. Toes and knees are up, toes and knees are down. For 6 and down. 5, keep reaching long. 4, 3, 2, last one, and lower back down. Good. Bend the knees up to 90 degrees. Keep your hips stacked one on top of the other, so don't let that top hip collapse. You're going to lift and lower. Lift. So usually we do this with the band around our thighs. This way it's harder to keep your leg and ankle in line. And lower. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Just pop that top foot, the band underneath the arch of that top foot. You're going to lift back to that same position. You're going to keep your knee bent at 90. Take the leg back, squeezing your butt. Bring it back to 90 degrees at your hip. Straight at your hip. 90 degrees at your hip. Straight at your hip. Your bottom leg is working to stabilize. Try not to bend through your knee. I don't want to have any arching and rounding through your lower back. We've got 4, breathing in, breathe out, push. 3, 2, last one, hold it back. Tap your knee down, lift your knee up. Tap your knee down, lift your knee up. So your foot stays in the air. Keep it lifted all the way down, all the way up. For 5, 4, I'm shaking, so hopefully you are too. 2 more. Last one, and relax. Good. So if you felt that shake, it should have been deep inside of your hip joint, your hip complex. So back to your ankles. Other side. Okay, so legs are nice and long to start. Top hand in front for balance. Hips and shoulders stacked one on top of the other. Now we're going to start just by lifting and lowering. So here your toes and your knees are both facing forwards. Bottom rib cage is just off the mat or lifting away from the mat. Doesn't have to actually lift. You're thinking of reaching the leg long away from your body. Let's do 4, 3. Make sure your head's in line with your spine. 2, 1. Hold it up. Turn so your toe and your knee is facing up without letting your hip roll backwards. Tap down, turn to face the front. Lift, rotate, tap, turn. Lift, turn up, tap, forwards for 6. Lift, turn, tap, and in. Lift, turn, tap, and in. 4 more. Breathe out, lift, tap, lift, turn, tap, lift, turn, tap. Last one, turn it out, turn it in, turn it out, turn it in. Try and get that glute to work. If you feel your quad or your hip flexor working, just take your leg a bit further back without arching your actual back. Without taking your hip backwards, you just have the leg back in line a little bit more with the back of your body. Last one, and relax. Whew, that gets deep in there. As I said, if you're feeling in the front of your hip, it just means that your quads are working too much because you're pulling your leg forwards. So you want your leg to be a little bit more back, so then you have to actually use your glute a bit more. So, oops, now I've lost my band. Bringing your knees up to 90 degrees. Stack your hips one on top of the other. And we're going to start just by lifting and lowering. Again, bottom waist gently lifting away from the floor. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Breathing in, feel your belly drawing away from the mat. Lift and lower for 5, 4. This is when the burn starts to kick in. 2. Last one, hold it up. Tap your knee down, tap your knee up. For 8, 7. Think of reaching your knee out and up like you're trying to reach forwards and draw a circle. You're trying to keep that foot relatively still in space. It's not lowering and lifting. Let's go for 4. Like it's stuck onto a wall and you're just gliding your knee up and down the wall. 2. Last one. And relax. Oh, give that a little massage. I forgot something. That was supposed to be with your foot around, but it would have worked anyway. Good. So lifting up, we're going to press and back. Press and back. Press and back. Let's go for 6, 5. Squeeze your bum. 4. Keep your thigh and ankle in line with your hip. 2 more. Last one. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and lower. Well done, guys. You deserve a little stretch, so you can lie in back, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. With your head down and your other foot down, push your leg out to the side. Feel it opening through that hip joint. And then when you're ready, you grab behind your right thigh, pulling your right knee to your right shoulder, left knee out to the side. Keep your head and shoulders relaxed and your bum down. And breathe. And breathe. Cross your knee over your other knee, and you're going to pull both legs up towards your right shoulder. So you're stretching the left outer hip, pulling up to your right shoulder. Have your hands out to the side. Take your knee all the way over. You might hear a few cracks in your spine. And slowly coming back up, other side. Right ankle over left knee. Just pressing that knee out with your foot flat on the floor. Should feel good pain. Holding behind the left thigh. Pulling your left knee to your left shoulder. Right knee out to the side. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. If you're up to it, cross your knee over your left knee. Hold both legs up and pull them into your left shoulder. Keep your bottom down so you feel this in a slightly lower part of your glute. Big breath in and out, hands out to the side, and take your feet over towards the left, feeling the stretch right from the outside of your back into your hip and down towards your leg. Good. So there we've got our mat work glute series, and watch out for the standing one. You can add in the standing one on top of this, or you can do them separately. Hope you're having fun.